Guardians of Dominion, Zeus here. Day 2 of Aidan Brawls is where discipline starts to matter more than raw power. Yesterday's strategy proved itself, the results were there, the wins were clean, and most of you cleared fights efficiently. But Day 2 is never about repeating the same attacks. It's about recognizing where yesterday's logic needs refinement and making adjustments before the meta punishes you for being predictable. The strategy we applied on Day 1 was successful, and that's important to acknowledge. I carefully read your feedback, reviewed the matchups you lost, and identified the exact situations where things started to break down. The core concept remains strong, but today we lock in one critical rule and apply one key adjustment that turns risky fights into controlled wins. Let's start with the main team. The primary lineup for today remains built around Electra in the front line with Oliver, followed by Cascade with Merlin, Orion with Chorus, Augustus with Biscuit, and Aidan, with Chorus as the team pet. This team continues to be your go-to option and is capable of destroying roughly 95% of the teams you will encounter today, but only when used correctly. This composition excels against older and slower meta teams such as Dante, Orion, Augustus, and Galahad, Tristan, Lyria. These teams cannot keep up with the tempo and pressure this lineup creates. The fight usually tilts in your favor within the first seconds as Orion's missile spam, combined with strong magic penetration, breaks through defenses rapidly. At the same time, Electra, supported by Aidan, holds the front line far more reliably than most players expect, giving the team both speed and stability. However, Day 2 revealed the most important rule you must follow, and this rule overrides everything else. If the enemy team has Isaac, you do not use the Electra team. And you also do not use your Isaac team. This is where many lives were lost. Against Isaac, the Electra team can fail because its early magic burst directly feeds Isaac's mechanics. At the same time, trying to answer Isaac with your own Isaac team often isn't enough, especially when the enemy Isaac is properly supported. Forcing either of these options turns the fight into a coin flip, and brawls are not the place for coin flips. When you see Isaac on the enemy team, the correct response is always the Lyria team. Your Isaac counter lineup must be built around Lyria, Sebastian, Lara Croft, and Aidan, with the 5th slot being flexible depending on your preference. You can use a healer like Hus if you want more sustain, or an extra damage dealer like Kira, if you want to apply additional pressure. This team avoids feeding Isaac, applies steady damage instead of burst, and handles Isaac far more reliably than either of the other two options. This is a strict rule for Day 2. Isaac present equals Lyria team. No exceptions. Now let's talk about the Isaac team itself, because it still plays an important role today, just not against Isaac. Based on your feedback, we are making a small but very important adjustment. Instead of Nebula, you will now use Thea in the Isaac team. The reason for this change is simple and practical. Some variations of our main team and other high-burst magic compositions cannot be killed reliably when Nebula is present. The damage spikes too early, Isaac dies too fast, and once Isaac falls, the entire control concept collapses. By adding Thea, you gain an additional healer and, just as importantly, magic defense from her artifact. This extra layer of protection keeps Isaac alive through the dangerous opening phase, allowing his control to stabilize the fight. With this adjustment, the Isaac team becomes significantly safer and more consistent. You should use this Isaac team specifically when facing mage-heavy compositions such as Krista, Orion, Cascade. Against these teams, the Isaac setup is the safer option compared to the Electra team, even if the Electra team can sometimes win. In brawls, consistency always beats speed. This is also where mirror team awareness becomes important. Krista, Orion, Cascade teams often appear in slightly different variations, and many of them will look very similar to your own compositions. These mirror-style fights are dangerous because small differences in timing, energy gain, or pet interactions can completely change the outcome. Even with the attacker advantage, mirror fights can easily go wrong. When you see these situations, the Isaac team with Thea gives you far more control and reduces the randomness that mirror fights usually bring. So for day 2, the decision-making process is very clear. No Isaac on the enemy team, use the Electra team. Isaac on the enemy team, use the Lyria team. Mage-heavy teams like Krista or Iron Cascade, use the Isaac team with Thea. Follow these rules, and you eliminate most of the risk from today's brawls. Remember, you only have 5 lives. Once those are gone, emeralds start disappearing. Smart adjustments like these are what separate clean clears from frustrating losses. Don't rush your attacks. Read the enemy lineup carefully. Choose the correct response instead of forcing your favorite team. That's how you stay ahead of the meta instead of chasing it. As always, your feedback matters. Let me know which teams you faced today, where this adjustment saved you, or if something unexpected still caused problems. Your input helps refine these strategies further so we can keep adapting as players adjust. Play smart, attack with purpose, and remember, the strongest players aren't the ones who hit hardest, but the ones who adapt fastest.